Hello everyone, this is Mr. Gray. In this video, our build is based on a new mini graphics card, the iGame RTX 5070 Mini OC. The biggest highlight of this card is its small size. Its dimensions are only 180 by 110 by 40mm, which is very compact. The whole card is using a one-piece metal frame with some 3D text. It looks very clean and premium. The main color is dark gray and black with some silver sparks on it, which make the metal texture stand out. Under the light, it even looks a bit shiny. For the rest of the hardware, we choose the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D paired with an ASUS ROG STRIX X8070i motherboard. The memory is a 32GB DDR5 CL28 from Asgard. For CPU cooling, we are using the CoolerMaster Challenger V4, which is a single tower air cooler. It uses the new 3D heat pipe technology and comes with two Mobius 120 fans. Cooling a 9800X 3D is not a problem. To keep the system as small as possible, we choose the JONSBO T6 ITX case. It has a silver aluminum frame, and the internal layout is very interesting. It's upside down. The GPU is installed at the top, which means the motherboard needs to be mounted in reverse. The case supports a 140 fan at the front and a 120 fan at the rear, and it also supports a 150mm ATX power supplies at bottom. The price of this case in China is around 600 RMB, around $90. The build quality is good, and overall, we think it's a very solid choice. At the end of the build session, we also prepare a full part list. If you are interested, feel free to check it out. After that, we will show the build process, as well as a cooling and noise test. You can use the timeline to jump to different sessions. Now let's move on to the airflow test. We start with the most common setup, front intake airflow. The Be Quiet Silent Wings 140 fan at the front does a very good job to cooling fresh air into the case. The graphics card at the top also has an intake fan, forming a separate airflow path. It puts air in front of the top and exhausts it from the rear. From the side view, you can also see some smoke coming out from both the front and the rear. Because the GPU cooler is very close to the case rear exhaust, we let the CPU cooler fan handle rear exhaust directly. For the temperatures, we test two setups, front intake and front exhaust. We used 3D Mark Time Spike as a stress test. The room temperature was between 21 to 22 degrees, and all we saw are showing as temperature rise above ambient, recorded with HW info. From the data, the front exhaust setup performs a slightly better performance for both CPU and GPU, with a difference of about 1 degree. So which setup do you prefer? Based on our data, the average full load power draw of the iGame RTX 5070 Mini is around 255 watts, and the fan speed can reach up to 3900 RPM. Later, we moved the system into a semi-anechoic chamber, with ambient noises below 10 dB, and we measure noise at a distance of 30 cm. The result shows the noise is lower when the front of the case is faced to the users. So if you care about the noise, this placement is recommended. As a living room PC, I think this graphics card and ITX case will be a nice choice. Well, noise at 30 cm is not perfect, but it drops a lot once you sit a bit farther away, and during gaming, you will likely use speakers or headphones anyway. Being able to fit an RTX 5070 and a 9800 X3D into such a small case would have been hard to imagine just a few years ago. With DLSS 4, playing games and 4K is basically no problem. So do you like this kind of video? Feel free to leave a comment below. This is our first time doing a full English voice cover, so please forgive us if it's not perfect. Thank you for everyone to watch this video.